episode 414, 414, Global from Asia. I am in Copenhagen Airport. This week's show, I actually have Amazon Global Selling, Business Development Guru and friend Max here sharing at a meetup we did in Chiang Mai, Thailand. So let's tune in.
Welcome to the Global from Asia podcast, where the daunting process of running an international business is broken down into straight up actionable advice. And now, your host, Michael Michelini.
Thank you so much for choosing to listen to or watch maybe our Global from Asia podcast. This one I think is pretty amazing. We have the global selling team, biz dev guy, Max. He'll also be at Cross Border Summit, giving a little speech and networking with sellers there. So I'm super excited for that. And I am still here in Copenhagen Airport. I'm going to have to go through Copenhagen, Prague, Vienna, Bangkok, and then Chiang Mai for the next 28 hours or so. Anyways, let's tune into the show, and then after the show I'll talk about some of my experiences with Max and Amazon Thailand team, as well as some hints of what to expect for Cross Border Summit. Let's tune in. All right, we have Tommy, the sales manager at Cross Better Logistics. How are you, Tommy?
Hi, everyone.
We just got to meet here in Shenzhen, China. It's great. They support the show at Global from Asia, and we also use them ourselves for many of our brands and e-commerce businesses. And Tommy really cares. They always are trying to help us save money. You have some products you keep for us in China. You have some products you keep for us in the US warehouse, and I really appreciate that. And you can talk to this seller, right? You can give them your advice. You work with many Chinese sellers a lot, right? And you can help the sellers understand more.
Yeah, we are very professional for the shipment to USA and Canada. Also, we have warehouse in USA and Canada. We can help our factories, suppliers, sellers for the shipment.
Yes.
Yeah, for the e-commerce business.
Yep, and you even keep stuff in China too. So sometimes if you have the limitations of sending too much to Amazon, you can keep it here in China with Cross Better, or you can send it, of course, to the US warehouse. They have many different options, and they're always trying their best to find out what's the best solution for you. So Definitely talk to Tommy, talk to Cross Better, and thank you for your support of the community.
Yes, we have good pricing and better service.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining our Chiang Mai e-commerce meetup. We have a special guest, Max, here from Amazon Global Selling Team in Thailand, right? Is that Global Selling Team?
Yeah, Amazon Global Selling Thailand.
Which is, the role is so global selling is basically to help find more, or just encourage to onboard sellers and to support sellers. Is that the purpose?
Absolutely. So the team in Thailand, our main priority is to help Thai businesses, or anyone who's based in Thailand. That you don't have to be a Thai nationality. But if you're based in Thailand and you want to sell cross-border e-commerce to Amazon.com in the US, then the team here in Thailand is here to hopefully help you and make your journey a bit less painful. Because selling on Amazon, it's not hard, but at the same time, it's not a piece of cake either, as I'm sure most of you are aware. So the team in Thailand is here to help everyone on that. And we do have a few different teams in Thailand. We have one who's looking after marketing, one who's looking after the sellers themselves. So, if you've been selling for quite a number of years, then you probably have an account manager helping you out. But I'm from the business development team. And what my team does, basically we find new sellers. We recruit partners to help our seller journey a bit easier. So let's say you got to ship from Thailand to the US, but shipping is so expensive, then you can let me know, and then we'll find more shipping partners who can give you more affordable prices. And I guess the other thing that I personally like to do is to actually listen to the seller's complaints because that's the only way we can really improve and fix different issues better. So today, please, if you have any questions or any pressing concerns, anything you want to shout about regarding your Amazon selling journey, I'm all ears.
Great.
Think of me as a friend, not as someone who's from Amazon.
Yeah, thanks, Max. Yeah, Max is. I've gotten a pleasure to get to know you over time here, and yeah, he keeps you're a seller. You've been a seller yourself, right?
Yeah, I have. So when I first started working for Amazon, I felt like I didn't speak the same language as the sellers because I have no selling experience at all. So I actually started a few of my own Amazon brands. And it's not something that's forbidden. It's something that the company actually encourages, so you understand the selling journey better. And I've started, I think, three brands.
Cool.
And I've lost 700K. Yeah, Thai baht in total.
You lost.
I lost. I lost money.
But don't they preference? You don't get like special treatment as an employee?
No. We don't. Nothing. So we start from zero like everyone else. But in terms of like having access, finding like the right shipping partner, finding the best person to take photographs of your listing. Of course, I know that, right? But even with access to that, I still lost 700K of my own money that I cannot reimburse from Amazon.
Oh,
so we're in the same boat. I've gone through all the pain of having your inventory stuck at FBA, suddenly having your ASIN yanked, having your account banned. I've gone through all that already, so I know how it feels.
Yeah, we were. My last part for that, and I last two questions, but it's kind of a funny part, but you also have to go through seller support. He still has to go through seller support. He was telling me
Jesus.
He had an account problem, and even he works inside Amazon as business development of global selling. He has to contact through the normal channel.
Yeah,
So he's been through the same pain that most sellers have been.
I have to do my own identity verification when I open the account. I have to show I work for Amazon. You really don't know me. But yeah.
Okay, great. Yes, let's open the floor for questions. Annie, I think, has one to
I would
start.
like to know how you lost 700K. Like, what was the mistake? Like, obviously that's valuable information, so we don't do mistakes. Yeah. How did you lose 700K?
So I tried a few different ways because when you're selling on Amazon, you can become a brand owner, you can do private labeling, or you can do ASIN matching and become a reseller, right? So of course I tried the hardest way first, which is building my own brand. So I did some research on Jungle Scout, and for some reason I was convinced that the next product, the next big hit would be traveling coffee drip bags. Yeah, so let's say you like fresh coffee, right? But you don't want to, you want to go camping or you're traveling out of town. Okay, so yeah, I came across that product. And coffee is actually something that's grown a lot here in northern region of Thailand, so I can source it quite not too expensive. So my price was right, but then I think the first mistake I did was I maximized the MOQ with the manufacturer. So the first shipment, my only thought was maximizing profit, not about like getting reviews, getting ratings, but I wanted to make sure every unit I sold, I made as much profit as possible. Yeah, so I maximized the coffee order shipment, I maximized the boxes, and I ended up sending in like 300 kilos worth of coffee drip bags. I think that alone is 300K, 400K. Yeah, so that's how I lost the bulk of the money. And I didn't allocate enough funds for advertising, which was probably a really stupid idea because if you don't advertise, nobody's gonna buy your product. But I did make some sales. I sold to my mom, sold to my dad, my auntie, my uncle, my sister, in the US. Basically, yes, please just buy one product. But the good thing is my mom now, she lives in Connecticut. She has, I think, 3 years supply of coffee. So yeah, I ended up being a good son. But yeah, that's how I lost the bulk of the money from the first business. And then the other one that I did after coffee was actually jewelry. Yeah, so like handmade jewelry, that kind of stuff. But if you look at me, I don't look like a guy who knows a lot about jewelry. Right, so I didn't know how to pick the right product. I didn't know how to get the best content across. So it's something that's so far removed from me. And then for the third business idea, I tried matching ASINs, reselling. Yeah, and then I got kicked out by the brand owner. Yeah.
So some lessons, I guess, that I can pull from that is that I've maybe ordered too many coffee was the first.
Yeah, I think
maybe too much inventory.
I think I was focused on the wrong thing. I think when I first started off, all I wanted to do was to make sure every unit I sold was profitable. When if I had perfect vision in hindsight, I would probably be focused more on like brand building, awareness, and just getting more eyeballs on the product, as opposed to just thinking about, I sell this, I make X amount. Yeah.
Did you do like a inventory calculation so you could adjust how much you would buy over a period of time? You just went for it.
I just went for it.
So you didn't even know how much supply you were buying.
Nah.
Yeah.
Just like, so the manufacturer said they wanted like 2,000 coffee drip bags for me to get the lowest prices. And I said, okay, sure. I want the lowest prices, so, it's, yeah.
Go ahead, Kat, please.
And do you support only Amazon.com sellers or also EU and UK and other marketplaces, Japan and...
So that's a very good question. There's been some changes in the past. So at one point we supported EU, right? But at the moment we only support .com, the US.
I don't sell in Europe. I did maybe a long time ago, not in Amazon, but like just normal B2C. But yeah, Europe is very complex. But I think that's also an opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Some of my friends only focus on Europe and they make good money because they know how to sell there. But it's like a skill in itself, just selling in Europe.
We went to the UK and the EU first, and then we went to the
Wow.
US. So we did it kind of, and Japan as well. And then we went to the US in the end. But then it's easy to set it up.
Yeah. I mean, just speaking personally, this has no no reflection on Amazon decision or anything like that. But if you're asking me, I mean, if you look at the average Thai seller, it's significantly different from this bunch, right? So if we were to ask them to focus on US, EU, UK at the same time, it will probably be too much of an ask.
Yeah.
So, just direct the attention on the biggest market, which is US first. But then again, particularly Middle East, Australia, we've had a lot of interest from sellers, but at the moment we can't support yet.
Okay.
What's the language? Sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm just I'm looking for questions. Go ahead.
What's the language they use in EU platform?
Depends on the country. If it's UK, then it's pretty similar to the US. I mean, you need to localize certain keywords like pajamas and onesies, that kind of stuff.
So there's actually different domains.
I think there's
different
lots of languages in 13, I think,
how do
maybe.
you categorize like EU and US if every country has their own URL of Amazon?
So it's basically Amazon US, and then initially it was Amazon US and Amazon Europe, and then Brexit happened, right?
Yeah.
So it's Amazon UK and continental Europe. When you move across the pond to continental Europe, it's essentially setting up new businesses in those countries.
Right, but so for different language, what you're saying is the EU platform actually has multiple languages.
Yeah,
But
so
it's not multiple sites.
Multiple
One
sites.
Yeah.
There's
It's also multiple
Amazon.de, Amazon.co.uk, all of them.
Okay.
But the way it works is there's Seller Central,
Right.
Central, and then there's the
Support
customers.
team kind of thing.
There's the
Exactly.
customer side and there's the seller side. Seller side is Seller Central. Customer side is .co.uk, .e, all of them. But then you actually have to apply to. It's like KYC they call it.
Right.
You got to apply
Yeah,
your tax,
registration.
your VAT,
Right.
Yeah.
and that's. I think I don't even know anymore. She might know better.
Yeah,
And
you
he's-
can join Pan-European, which makes it kind of easier, but you need to do maybe invited now, I'm not sure. But the tax thing, you need accountants in the EU to manage the VAT stuff, because you're importing the product in, and when you import, you'll pay VAT, and then Amazon, you also have to pay the VAT on the product when you sell it, and they should actually counteract, and you have to get all the documents, and you need someone to do that, unless you want to do it.
So the way I look at it though is it's not really Amazon's policy, it's those governments' policies.
Yeah.
So whether okay, go ahead.
I mean,
I think if Amazon had to choose, they would just want to make as much money as possible. They don't really. I mean, I'm not saying them specifically, but any marketplace just wants to sell, right? They don't want to do KYC and tax. But they think they have to stay in compliance with that country and not get banned.
But they don't pay the tax. The seller does, and that's what's smart in one way, but unfortunate for the seller because Amazon says you're selling it, not me, so you have to pay the 23% VAT to Italy, for example, because when you're selling to the US, there's hardly any import tax or VAT and stuff, but in the EU, you're looking at like a 20% average. So everything, so you need accountants for that to make sure
we just have to register for the packaging for Germany, not for Amazon, because we're going to do Germany on .com. We just had to register for packaging before we could send the stuff off. So you have to register for the packaging and how much packaging you're going to use that year, and then you pay that.
Oh, that's the sustainability, like the carbon footprint stuff,
Yeah, and they're really it's crazy. But I had a really good order, so I did it. So
Nice.
Normally I blank out Germany on all my stuff, because it's a real pain in the ass. But on Etsy, I just got this. You tried to buy it on my website, which has blanked out Germany, but I hadn't blanked it out on Etsy. So Etsy took the sale, and it was too good a sale, so I had to register for the packaging. So I've got it now, but how much cardboard are you going to use? How much plastic are you going to use? And then you've got to have an agent for it as well. So you have to have the agent, so you have to set yourself up the agent, and then you have to pay your upfront and get your code number, and that has to go on the envelope that you send the stuff with.
Painful.
My husband's German, so I know all about that stuff. Yeah.
Okay, back to Thailand. So you said earlier, of course, we welcome Thai. There's some Thai sellers here. We more than welcome Thai sellers to our events, to the community, but maybe it's the language barrier or other reasons they're not so active in this meetup. But you support seller. Do they have to have a Thai company or Thai seller account? What are some things that you would need to be under your?
If the proprietor is based in Thailand, then we can definitely support. We have a lot of the expat community selling on Amazon and being based in Thailand anyways.
Okay.
So we have a big community in Chiang Mai, of course, and similarly large one in Phuket.
Interesting.
Yeah. So if you're physically here, then we can help you.
If you're physically here?
Meet Max.
Like you provide your bills or something?
Yeah, like apartment rental agreement, some stuff like
So
that.
it doesn't have to have a company?
You can register as an individual or as a company when you open your
How do you
account.
get paid then?
Well, I think
Pioneer.
there's.
Payoneer?
Yeah, but Payoneer won't take you on unless they've got a company account, will they? You have to have a company now. On PayPal you do as well. If you want to trade, you have to have it. They won't take you on without it. So you can only set up. We lost our PayPal account for 12 months nearly. We couldn't sell anything for 12 months, virtually nothing, unless you had a PayPal account in America or something like that. But the Thai government, you had to register your company with PayPal just to get the PayPal account.
I didn't know PayPal is still active.
Yeah, they are. It's called PayPal Thailand now.
I thought they just recently introduced it back into Thailand or something.
Yeah, there's a new PayPal Thailand. I haven't
It's
seen.
PayPal Thailand, but you can only you can't even if you're Thai, open a PayPal account. You can't. You have to have a company now to open up a PayPal account. So for 12 months up until a couple of months of this year, the last 12 months, we weren't able to take any money off our website. Everything just went dead. Etsy went dead. Everything. We couldn't sell anything.
Yeah, it was a big problem.
It cost us a fortune.
So I think there's two parts to this. I think, like I'm a sell. Most of my I have a few seller accounts I mentioned last week through different businesses and partnerships. One is a Thailand company with a Thailand seller account, but others are U.S. companies with U.S. seller accounts. But Max says he can still help me because I'm here, even though I have a U.S. seller account. So I think there's the support from global selling, and then there's actually, like you said, the corporate, the tax. I think what Max says is if you're here, you can get their support.
Yeah.
It's a bit
I was talking
different.
about payment. I was talking about getting paid.
Yeah, so there's two different.
Sell something, but you can't get paid, it's no good.
I-
There's Thai small-time businesses that can't get their money out of PayPal at the moment. They're having to wait like 7-8 weeks before they get their money.
Understand.
I'm not too sure about PayPal because I don't think you can receive your funds from Amazon through PayPal anyways.
No, you can't.
But
Payoneer.
through Payoneer,
Yeah, I got Payoneer.
I think you can use just an ID card. You don't need to register a company. I mean,
You have to have a company.
There's one woman here that comes that she has an individual, she's not a Thai, but that was earlier. It might be changing, but I guess
I
Max
can
should be the
connect
one
you
who
with
knows.
the Payoneer team and help you out with that because I mean, last I spoke with them, they yeah, I'll give them a call because last I spoke with them, they didn't require like a company registration.
Because you have to give them all.
You can get a tax ID here as an individual, even as a non-Thai, you can get a tax ID in Thailand.
The government's company. It has to be a company. You have
I'm
to
not.
set up a company.
I agree with you. I recommend using a company for Lynn's and everyone. I would not recommend doing it as an individual anyways. I use companies to sell online, so I would not recommend it, even if it.
Again, I wouldn't open a company here. I'd open it in Delaware or somewhere like that.
Yeah, so that's what I do.
I got one in the UK, which I was going to flip it to. So I was going to flip the whole company over to the UK. It's all set up and running.
Yeah, I remember mentioning.
But so much shit I got to go.
But the main point I think is I want to highlight is you can get the global selling support even if you don't have a Thai seller account and you're selling with the US account or other countries. But if you're like located here, I think you could talk to Max to get some support.
The support's quite good. No problems with that.
On that note, can you have a company, like selling through a company, but receive the funds in your personal bank account through Amazon?
I wouldn't. Well, I'll let him answer that. But
And you
usually it has to match. Usually the name. They're very strict about the name of the bank
Yeah.
matching the company. The matching.
They are.
They've been up. They
We
keep
had it
increasing
today.
They increase it. They call it the Inform Act now. They say it's a U.S. government thing, INFORM. You can't mix. If you're a company business account, your bank needs to match the name. You can't crisscross. It's
They're
getting more and more
extremely
strict.
pedantic. Once we had we're called Be Conscious, and there was like a space between the
Yeah.
conscious, but it was
I had a
supposed
comma
to be
once.
there,
Yeah.
and then it was like they shut us down. And
Yeah.
I love Amazon.
Yeah, you gotta.
Crazy.
I had to ask my bank because I had, in the U.S. it has Inc., but I sometimes put comma Inc. So I say company name, comma Inc.
yeah, not gonna work.
And then sometimes I don't put comma Inc. I just put the company name Inc. And it didn't match the bank statements and like the seller accounts. And then
The other thing you've got to do here is if you have a company here and anyone wants your paperwork for your company, yeah, you've got to go all the way, every 3 months, you've got to go up to where your company is registered in Chiang Mai and get all the paperwork again every 3 months just to get a bank statement or anything. It's crazy, the paperwork.
Yeah. So Ian, so you sell through a Thai seller account, right?
Yeah.
And you're dealing.
Yeah.
And I think I don't want to put you on the spot, but I think you are using a Thailand company.
Anything you do here, if you've got a company, like you have to have, all the paperwork. And then so every couple of years they'll ask you for it all again. So you have to go for it all again. And if you slip through the net on getting your money through, because we had the old PayPal for quite a long time, and then they switched to Thailand, but we carried on for about a month or so. It was okay. Then they wanted all the paperwork again.
Okay.
Again.
Thanks, Ian. So anybody, I saw some people squeezing their hands up. Yeah, Eric.
A simple question,
Eric?
which maybe is not even relevant, but last night I got a phone call from some guy, and he clearly is from the United States, you can just tell he's from the US, and he says, "You sell those, whatever I sell?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "I want to buy some." I said, "Okay, great, just go to Amazon and buy them." "I don't want to buy them from Amazon." So I said, "Well, it's really better if you buy them from Amazon." But then I thought, if he paid me through my PayPal account, and I did a removal order from Amazon and just mailed it to him.
It doesn't need to be removal, or you can do a Amazon self-fulfilled. I
Yeah.
mean, I forgot the. You can just ship it to them. You don't got to do a removal.
Really?
Yeah, you can sell on multiple channels.
You just pick up the items that you want to send. You go in the left-hand corner, you got a drop down, drop it down, and it will say replace stock.
Yeah, so
items.
some people sell on Walmart or other channels.
They'll not give you.
I think it's MCF, but I forget
You
that.
can use them as a 3PL.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
Your
And you-
Amazon.
you
Buy
can-
with Prime.
Yes.
How much does Amazon charge?
There's a few fees. There's a lot of fees. Actually, it costs more than selling it on FBA.
Yeah, it does.
I
It's
compared
just
it.
done that. It wasn't before, but now it's just jumped.
Yeah,
up.
It's very expensive, and then we have another, because we have a website and we have Amazon. So
Mhm.
we have a 3PL that sells our e-commerce or our wholesale orders, and the price of shipping has gone up considerably in the US.
So is your 3PL less expensive than using
Well,
Amazon to
this was-
fulfill?
Well, I've never actually, this is something that I'm about to do, is look into the fulfillment service from Amazon. So I'd like to know where you can find that information and how does that work?
I'm blessed with a good team, so they did the math for me. Someone I could pull it up, but I think you could. I don't know if it's in a calculator, but there's some way they give you the breakdown of the fees. Maybe Ian knows.
Our item was, say Amazon sold it was $9, yeah? They would take $9. And that was made up of shipping and $3 something. So the
Pick
shipping
and
was
pack
about-
and stuff.
Yeah, it was about
yeah.
six, it was about $6 for shipping and $3 for Amazon's commission. I've recently done two in New York, since you out to New York, or one in California, one in New York. Both of them, I did expedited, would normally be $6 to $9. It was actually more money.
Yeah, it costs
than they were
more.
actually charging if they sold it shipped.
Yeah, like so one of my products is a glass rimmer. So it's like for people making margaritas, and they can put the lime juice in one circle, and the other circle you put like salt or sugar. Yeah, it's made in Thailand, and I sell it. And we actually are approved on Amazon. On Walmart, and we're thinking to use Amazon's shipping to sell on Walmart, because you can also take off the Amazon logo on the box when you do this merchant fulfilled.
You can ask them to do that.
You can take
'cause
off-
that was- and can they do plastic free as well, you think? Probably not.
That one I'm not sure about, but all I remember was it cost me like $6 or $7 to do a fulfillment of that glass rimmer on Amazon for a customer. It was like 9 or 10 if I sold it on Walmart and used the shipping and fulfillment from Amazon.
Can you use if you sell at Walmart now, can you use
Yeah, I
Walmart?
talked to
When they
Walmart.
started, they wouldn't have that.
I know they hate, well, of course they're competitors and they hate it. They're like, if we found out you use Amazon, we'll ban you. But I think maybe it's because also Amazon allows you to do without their logo. Because I think Walmart doesn't want the customer to get an Amazon package. So I don't know if maybe they even worked out between Walmart and Amazon, but
Sometimes you can do plain packaging.
Yeah, you can opt in for that.
But not always. Sometimes it doesn't allow me to do it.
So basically, my team, I let, I'm happy, Christian, maybe they're watching this, but I said, let's just do it to see if it works. And then even if we lose money on the order, because we'll lose money, we can then figure it out. But they're like, they don't want to lose money. So we're not selling on Walmart right now until we figure that out. Because it's like $9 or $10 to sell it on for shipping and handling from Amazon's warehouse for the
I find it
Walmart.
cheaper to send it from here now. I send it with PP shipping now.
What is PP shipping?
PP Shipping's a company in Bangkok. They're really good.
PP shipping?
Yeah, you could ship up to just under a kilo, and they're really fast. What you do, you send it to Bangkok with Flash or one of the others.
Yeah.
They do three flights a week, one on Monday, one on Wednesday, one on Friday. They send that with DHL straight to the States. I mean, it might go to Hong Kong first and flip over to, it goes to one place in the States. But you get your tracking within an hour of putting it on the site. So you go onto PP Shipping, yes? You put who it's going to, what it is, the weight, you weigh it, yeah? And then you send it, package it all up, then put it in one of the plastic things, put PP Shipping on it, send it out to Bangkok. That gets there hopefully the next day, so you can catch the next flight, yeah? Then they put it on that flight, goes straight to the States, but you've already got the tracking number, and you've got the USPS tracking number.
Is that just
within an
one
hour.
B2C package? Is that just one
So-
order or multiple orders in the
There-
bag?
As many as you like in
And then they open it and then
They open
deliver
it
to
and
all
then they
the.
split it off wherever it's going.
Oh, that's cool.
So I put the invoice in as well, so each packaging has the invoice with it.
Mhm.
So I've got no trouble with, customs or anything like that.
There's another one, just
It's really
to
good. I haven't lost one, and normally it takes 10 days to get there, 9 to 10 days. I've had it there earlier than that.
Do they go to Europe as well, or is it just the US? Or do
Just
they-
the US,
Okay.
unfortunately.
There
And I
might-
use Fast Ship for Germany and places like that, because they're quite good.
Yeah, so another one
Fast Ship,
to
I don't use
compare.
DHL anymore.
So some just do straight DHL. So I
DHL 's
interviewed
crazy price now.
hmm,
Crazy. I mean, they've gone crazy. Absolutely crazy.
so
We use FedEx.
They're all my friends, so.
yeah,
Fast Ship are pretty good though. They've got a mix of all of them.
fastship.co, I think is the
They get
domain.
the best deal, so they'll have a deal with FedEx or they'll have a deal with somebody else.
So another one to add to your list is Unexpress. Also, they've sponsored the Cross-Border Summit, which is great, and I'll be interviewing them on Friday when I go to Bangkok. But they do something similar. I'm not familiar with PP shipping, but what they started in China, and they're expanding to Thailand, and what they do is they have their own airplanes, or they have really good rates with the airplanes. And maybe PP Ship does the same. They consolidate yours with all of their other ones as like one package. Then they deliver to the US, then they open it, then they distribute it. It's like
Yes, that's what.
Yeah, this goes into DHL.
Yeah, they-
DHL flies it.
What is
that
it
Goes
called?
into one
Unicorn.
box.
Yun,
And they just
Y-U-N,
when it gets to-
like
it only
it's
goes to
cloud in
one place
Chinese,
America,
express.com.
And then it goes from there. So it only goes to one, doesn't go to New York or somewhere else, just goes to one place.
Yep.
Can't remember where it is. And then they distribute it. The beauty of it is though, you get your tracking number,
Yeah, they give you like an EMS
You
tracking or
put it on there, you go back onto People Shipping's website, yeah, and you've got your tracking number up. So if you're doing, say you're doing Etsy, and you've got to have your tracking in within like 2 days or a day or whatever, you got it. Just put your tracking.
But how
number.
many days will that take then, for example?
I think you said 10.
Is it 10 days?
It's about 10 days. If you can get it, it has to be. If you can get it to PP Shipping by Saturday afternoon at 5 o'clock, yeah, it'll be on the Monday plane.
So you send to Bangkok a box full of small boxes?
Well, no, they do that.
I use foil envelopes. They're really nice. They're quite bubbled and pink. And I can put 3 or 4 of those together.
No, they do that for you. So you just send one piece or however much. They're the ones that they consolidate. So the way it works is I want to send this pen to the US, and I want to save some money. You just send this pen in your package with the address. They put it in a big package, and they save the money because they bundle it with all the other shipments to their
What she's
customers.
saying is, can she send like 4 or 5 packages together in one hit?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could-
$50, something like that, to send it down to Bangkok.
So you
Yeah, but you
you
need
to print it out.
each item
You-
separately and then.
Yeah, you would need it.
Labeling on. Each package has got a label.
Yeah.
You just put them together, put them in a package, ship them down to Bangkok.
Yep.
They open them up.
Yeah.
And all the labels are on there and everything's on the return labels, everything are on there.
Yep.
And
So
the
basically,
boom,
they do the
Tie
fulfillment.
them together.
It's
Basically, they're saving money because they consolidate it. It's a consolidation.
still like
Yeah,
3PL, but
they
from
do-
here.
they do-
Yeah, they save money because they put it all on one plane.
DHL used to have DHL Ecom that did that. Yeah.
Yeah. If you use Thai Post about 4 weeks,
Yeah, no, that's great. I'm thinking the things
if it gets lost at the airport or something like that, that's why I don't use them anymore. I don't use Thai Post.
And how much you spend, like, I believe your product is light, right? But how much you spend in shipping?
For America, I can send, say, 2 items for $260.
Okay, question.
Yes, about $69.
Yeah, of course.
Very cheap.
Very good.
But I use really good packaging now. I've used bubble, I use the foil packaging, comes from China. It's quite small. It's, they're about that size depending on what I'm sending. It's bubbled and it's foil finish and it's really tough. It doesn't get wet.
So just to be clear, this is not really FBA. Maybe you do FBM with this, or you do FBM with that?
I used to do FBM, but I mean, we have so much, we split from FBM to FBA.
Yeah, so FBA, you have to send it first to Amazon. They have to check it in, then they ship it. So these kind of like shipping services is more like maybe Shopify, maybe FBM, maybe. I don't even know if they'd accept that. Could you FBM from like Unexpress or people? Can you do FBM from Thailand?
Yeah. I think all the carriers does it. Fastship also do.
Oh, I think I did talk to them.
FBM, I just use BP shipping.
Yeah.
That's it. It's really fast.
I had a friend trying to do this, and he said that he was getting quite many complaints that
it's too slow, right?
The shipping time was roughly like 10 business days. So
yeah, 10 days.
If it's just like before 2 weekends, so it can be like a 14 days kind of thing. And Amazon customers, when they buy it
they're
from
spoiled.
They complain about it. Like some DHL Express within 3 to 5 days, that's fine. But the 10 days is a little bit on the limit. I mean, it's too much.
Basically, the main rule is over communicate. Don't under promise, over deliver. So if it's going to take 10 days, say like 14 or 20 days, and try to be so clear that it's going to, because if they buy it and they think it's 3 days, they get upset. So however you got to be really, really clear. It's going to take that long.
By shipping in these envelopes, they go through the letterbox, so they're not sitting on the front door, so they're not going to get stolen.
Got it.
So it's much easier that just go through the letterbox. You know, tons of stuff's getting stolen in America. So,
sure.
Okay, so we got about 10 minutes left for this session. I just think we can also talk to Max, Ian, and others in networking. So let's do a couple more questions, and then we'll go into networking.
I have a question for you. So we have products, they come in like a beige, like a cardboard. We use natural cardboard, plastic-free packaging.
Mm-hmm.
And at the moment, they have like barcodes for stores. So we always have to put the ASIN barcode, like the Amazon barcode, we have to stick it on
top,
right? But then we're thinking like some of our products sell so much on Amazon that we wanted to get that barcode printed on our packaging. But then the packaging is like carton, and I read somewhere that it has to be like white background for the barcode, otherwise they won't accept it. Is that true?
Yes. I wouldn't risk. So you're basically trying to print the barcode directly onto the packaging.
On our packaging.
With a brown or
with like a
beige, yeah. Like off, is it like
carton.
khaki?
It's just imagine card. It's like a recycled carton. So, yeah, and we put anyway our barcodes on there. But so you're saying don't do it. No, stick to the white.
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Then I have another question. Last one.
Good. No, I think it's great.
I believe there is somehow on Amazon there's opportunities for small business or social enterprise where you get some kind of benefit. Can you tell us about those benefits and how to apply for them?
So I think the one that will be most relevant for you is the climate pledge. I'm not sure whether you've heard of it.
We have.
Yeah, but it's essentially. Do you have the climate pledge badge now? Yeah. So I think that's one of the most beneficial things for sustainable, theme businesses, where it's essentially you're being like incentivized to minimize the size of your packaging, so you don't, so you reduce carbon footprint and stuff like that. But what you get additionally, if you get the climate pledge badge, is inclusion to Launchpad, which I think you are already on, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, and it's supposed to give you a bit more traffic, a bit more visibility on the website. So if you're already using Climate Pledge, I think the other thing you can do is different affiliations. So like, women-owned businesses, small, medium businesses, but whether these badges effectively increase conversion is a different issue, because, it's almost like a stamp of approval that you can put on your listing saying that your company, is so-and-so, but then it really depends on whether you're driving your traffic to the right audience in the first place to see whether really those, badges will help in the conversion. But yeah, these are the programs that you can definitely join. And also Amazon Handmade. Yeah, that one will significantly reduce your FBA spend. But at the same time, there's always like both sides of the scale. So if you go on Amazon Handmade, then the inherent traffic going to Amazon Handmade page is less compared to Amazon.com main website. So you kind of have to weigh the pros and cons to see whether you can test it out first. If you get similar traffic, similar sales from Amazon Handmade and a significant savings from your FBA fees, then of course. But if you test it out and then it's not worth it, then probably no.
Okay, maybe one or two more questions, and then we'll wrap up the.
Can I ask about Singapore?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've sort of signed up for it, but I haven't finished signing up for it. What's it like trade-wise?
Singapore, okay.
Company, you mean?
Yeah,
Or
how much-
Selling on Amazon in Singapore, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean selling in?
There's some
Let's clarify the
market.
questions.
Singapore anyway, because I get people come through to my website from Singapore, but I wondered what sort of traffic it gets, because we joined Australia when they started, and we ran it for about 6 months and pulled out in the end. I still got stock over there. Had to get it sent to a friend of mine.
Oh, wow.
But hopefully they'll bring it back.
I mean, I'm definitely not the expert because my team, we only do Amazon.com.
Right.
But if you just look at the population, right?
Yeah, it's small,
Yeah.
but they got money.
Yeah, they definitely got
But
money.
Aussies don't like Amazon.
Yeah.
I think he's talking about Singapore, I think.
I know, but yeah, okay, Singapore.
So 340 million in the US versus 8 million in Singapore. And of that 8 million, your real target market, the expats, probably half. So 4 million. So it's essentially what, 90 times smaller? Yeah, 80 times, 85 times
My
smaller.
market, probably 60% of my market is Asian women anyway. They're smaller. You know, I only do the smaller ones. So, because I specialise in that side, you know, I have to look to where, I mean, Japan is
I guess it's about testing, or maybe try to do a survey.
Yeah.
Try to maybe do some market research there to see if they'd buy it. You know, one
So
tricky
like
thing to do
that.
is to do ads
Say that.
and sell it if you don't have it. Maybe not on Amazon itself, or even try 3 FBM on
I
Singapore.
don't do any ads on Amazon at all. No.
I'm not saying ads even on Amazon. You could do it on Facebook. Or I guess your category is difficult to launch or any.
Yeah.
Anyways, the best way would be somehow do some market research or even keyword research if people are searching in Singapore on Amazon or other.
Just a quick one because we were talking about different markets. So if I want to sell on Amazon and I want to target Singapore, I have to register as a Singapore seller.
Yeah. So you have to go Amazon.sg and then
so
sign
every time
up
I launch a new market, I
Exactly.
have to be registered to that
on
market
that particular
specifically.
marketplace. Correct.
Yep.
Okay. I saw a very long time ago there, when I was trying to register as a seller, there was an option where you can take like, I want to sell globally.
You can, but typically what happens is you finish the registration process for one country first, and then you can use a feature called Build International Listings,
Right.
and then you can kind of expand internationally. But
But
if-
it doesn't automatically just show your product.
Exactly.
On every site.
Because different countries got different regulations, right? So we
Right.
can't like copy and paste a single product over to other countries.
Right.
For example, if something is allowed for consumption in US,
Yeah.
you might not be able to sell that in the UK.
Yeah.
I know, if you're selling like high fructose corn syrup in the US, you know,
Yeah.
they drink it like water over there, but UK you can't.
My
I grew up in the
stuff's
States,
for
I can
sale
say.
My
So-
stuff's for sale. My stuff's for sale on Amazon in Saudi Arabia, I think.
I mean, sometimes it defaults to selling it cross. I forget the programs. There's so many programs in Amazon, but sometimes when you do Amazon US, there's ways that they can make it available in other markets, but you're still selling as a US based seller.
Yeah.
It's different than opening an account as a seller in those countries, but you can sell cross-border from like US. But
Yeah, that's a different thing.
I forgot the name of that
So
program.
there's 3 different things, right? First, you can open your Amazon store individually in each country. That's
Yeah.
the hardest, but also the best way in terms of like driving your
It
ads.
requires
and-
a lot of energy to maintain
Yeah.
and.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or if you're selling to a proximity country, let's say you want to sell to Canada or Mexico, then you can use Pan America FBA.
Right.
So you can just ship over there, or you can make your product available for international shipment.
Right.
But then, the person in Singapore who wants to buy your products got to go to Amazon.com
Yeah.
in US,
Yeah.
and then put their Singapore address.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's easiest but the worst.
Right.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really there is no simple options, I guess, to list
Yeah.
product everywhere.
So it's back to your strategy. It's back to your strategy. So some sellers, I think there's 3 ways to grow I guess not just Amazon seller, but any kind of a seller. But let's say Amazon. One way is you're doing really well with selling this cup on Amazon US. You could go, I guess, horizontal.
Yeah.
Nick's not here now. He's been a regular here. He specializes in taking one product and going like every market of Amazon. That's one way to grow, right? You go to Dubai, you go to Australia, you go to Europe. That's one way to grow. The other way to grow is add products in the US and just stay in the US.
Or variations.
Or variations, right? And then the other way is kind of similar, but trying to get people to, buy more or upsell, cross-sell. It's kind of similar to the second one, but usually it's called vertical or horizontal. It's how I think. But like I did an interview with Nick on a show, and he called it horizontal. So he likes horizontal because he doesn't want to keep making new products.
Right.
He just kind of has to get good at logistics and all this paperwork in all these countries. Because you got to do VAT, you got to do. Every country has different ways of doing it, and he kind of likes it. I am the opposite. So I like to be creative. I like to make products. So I keep making brands and products in the U.S. I only sell in the U.S. So it's different ways.
So if you sell the same products but different markets, aka different stores, right? There's no consolidated like SKU management. Okay, you have to manage every store separately.
Yeah, inventory is different. Everything's different.
Yeah,
you log into a different account.
Different FBA.
But if you do pan-European, the EU is then consolidated, and you manage it from one platform. So on ours, it's like you choose the EU or the US or Japan. So you have it all there, and there are tools that will like translate everything for you.
Right.
You can actually do the EU kind of all together. It used to be UK too, but they're on the out now.
You can track your curtains from wherever it's manufactured to like Czech Republic, where importation is slightly friendlier than Germany, and then you can do inland European transportation, put it in one of the European FBA centers, and then sell it.
And thank you to our sponsor, our returning sponsor, Mercury.com, online bank. Well, it's a real bank, but you can do it totally online for US. Our Blimp program participants are going through this as well. Thank you, Mercury. Travis is great there. He's been on our show. He's been in our events. We're going to have another event where we will have them attending as well. And if you want to get a little bonus for you and us, if you sign up and do some special circumstances, you can go to globalfromasia.com/Mercury. I also have a video tutorial that we use even for the Blimp people. I use the same exact video to learn how to use it. I hope you can check it out. Totally free. Why not? See you there. So thank you all for listening or watching this episode 404 of Amazon Thailand. We had fun. I mean, Max is he keeps it so real, he's so genuine. He's the good, the bad, the ugly. I really appreciate him sharing with us. I've met a lot of their team in Bangkok as well as in Chiang Mai with the conferences, also in Singapore. They're really helpful here, very supportive. Also, they're going to be very supportive at the Cross Border Summit. Max will be sharing there. They're going to have a few other reps there to talk to you that are attending to help you. There are ways, I think he said in the recording as well, there are ways that you can get support here in Thailand, even if you're not maybe a Thai person or Thai company. Cool planes over here. So it's just what it's all about, new border, open borders, new beginnings, and I've been really pleasantly surprised with the connections I've made with Amazon here in Thailand and Singapore, global selling team. So I hope to extend that over, but flight is preparing to go, so I'm going to keep this one shorter. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.
To get more info about running an international business, please visit our website at www.globalfromasia.com. That's www.globalfromasia.com. Also, be sure to subscribe to our iTunes feed. Thanks for tuning in.